Hello, good afternoon. This is Diecast Loon. I hope you're all doing well, and I've had more success at the car boot again. And today it was quite interesting because the same guy that I go to quite often to the flea market that I go to on a Saturday was at today's car boot sale. And when I first got there, another wander around, I didn't think I was going to get any luck because the weather was starting to change. And then like I said, seen the guy who I've gotten to know quite well now was at the same car boot because it is very, very near to where he has his market stall, and they have the car boot there once a week as well. So anyway, I did find this. So let's get a bit extra zoom on that I'd not seen before when I was at his market stall. Usually I haven't seen it, but this is the first time. So he must have not long got this, and I instantly zoomed in on it, as it is an Austin Metropolitan taxi. I think that's right. Let's have a little look. Yeah, Austin Metropolitan taxi, or its full name is the Matchbox. I think it's C17 Austin FX3 is what would be on the box. But this car is from about 1960. So this guy always puts a little tag on there just saying the date. So there you go, it's 1960, and that's what I paid for it. And I didn't even ask for any money off. I was so happy to find it. I've got really into these older castings recently, and how they even managed to survive this length of time. But it is very cool. So as you can see, it has got a grey interior, or what of it has got, and it has what looks like a little painted die-cast man or driver. There you go, you can get a closer look at him now. And in his hand is part of the man is the steering wheel. There is the little meter, would have been on the side. So back in the day over here in Britain, these were the sort of taxis that we had. Obviously, this is older than the 1960s, but this is when this was made. But these taxis, I believe, are probably having a stab late 40s, early 50s style of taxi, I believe. And they did have no door, and then obviously you would do your dealings with the taxi driver through there, and then you'd get in the back. But it is very cool. It does have silver, I believe these are silver plastic wheels. We just test. They feel like silver plastic wheels. And I know earlier cars did have the metal wheels. And when I say earlier cars, I don't mean earlier models of this. This is the first model I'm on about. Earlier than like the 50s, late 50s, that sort of thing. I'm not quite sure when the grey plastic wheels came out, but I know before that they were grey metal. But like I said, they didn't make this for very long, to be honest. I think it's only a short run off the top of my head for about 4 years. I think these were produced from about 1960 to about 1964, I think. But I will leave a picture of this in mint condition with its box right now. So that is it, one of these in mint condition with its, I think, is it the D-type box or the F-type box? I can't remember now. But I know for box collectors, the box that comes with this is quite rare. And these themselves, again, you look these up, and these mint in box, these are becoming very expensive. Upwards of 350 to near £400. Good examples of this unboxed are fetching as much as 80. And like I said, this is in fair condition for its age. Yes, it's got some chips and dings, a little bit of rust on the axles, but it is all here, and it isn't beaten to death, which is great. It has its driver still. And if I zoom back in, now is that chipping or is that paint? No, that would have been painted, I believe. It looks like the lights and the grille and the bumper, possibly. Not the bumper, maybe the grille. The grille and the headlights were painted originally. But yeah, very cool. And like I said, I've always been into more my era of Matchbox that I prefer is sort of from about 73 up to the very early 80s, as Matchbox was wearing down or closing down, as that's what I was into as a child. So my main collecting interest has always been that and always will be that. But it is very cool, and I have picked up, and I'm getting a nice collection of late 50s and early 60s Matchbox now, and they are very cool. So that was a great find at Car Boot today. Great to see that bloke there. I think he's called Tim. Like I said, I've bought from him so much recently. You get to know them. And then on the way home, I stopped again, not far from where I live, at the local toy shop. And I was going in there to buy, I was going to and ah over the, I think it was the Mario van from the set, part of the set that I showed in a previous video, which is the new pop culture set for 24. But I ended up buying this. So I've seen this before on other people's channels. This is the first time, that's what I paid for it. It's the first time I've actually seen it in the wild, so to speak. And I'm getting quite into these at the minute. Not every monster truck that's coming out, just the ones that I like. There was a massive selection there. I had to stop myself from picking up 4 or 5 of these. The Poison Pinto was there in a single pack, which I know is apparently quite hard to find at the moment. But I got this, so we'll get straight into it. I know there's only more on the back. I think there's some, if I angle the camera right, just bear with me and zoom in. Probably a bit too much. So there is some of the others, if you can see them. We'll try some extra zoom. But I've always had an interest. I love vans. I've always loved vans. And I especially like this Dodge casting. And it's very similar to the RLC Tradesman van. But then again, it's got the same front end as the normal Dodge Ram. So I don't know if it's based on the Tradesman or if it's based on the current Hot Wheels van. I think it probably is a mixture of the two, because the Tradesman's based on a 70s van, whereas the other one is based on a slightly newer casting, earlier, like a 90s casting. Anyway, I got it because, like I said, the Tradesman's probably one of my favourites. Matchbox, vintage Hot Wheels castings, one of my very favourite pieces in my collection, and this just reminded me of it, even though it's the different colour and all this other stuff. It's got the same sort of sunroof style as the Tradesman, and the same port light there, or whatever you want to call it, but it has got that awesome engine sticking out the back. And like I said, at the moment, I'm not a big monster truck guy. I've always liked Bigfoot. Always been a fan of Bigfoot, and always been a fan of Gravedigger, but that's about it. But I am starting to quite like, and I'm getting a very small collection together, some really cool monster trucks. So, and we've got this little plastic car with it, but I'm not really too bothered about that. But anyway, so that is today's finds. Something new, something old. That's the star of the show. But anyway, with that, please like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for more car boot finds, vintage Matchbox Mondays episode, premium cars, monster trucks, all that good stuff. Stay tuned for Monday's episode of Vintage Matchbox Mondays, because I'll be doing the announcing the giveaway. I'll be doing the prize draw for the giveaway, shall I say. And I'll see you all very soon. Thank you for watching. Take care.